Good morning and welcome. It's time for Inside Oakwood with Dr. Leslie Pollard on this triumphant Thursday. And we've got some winning information we want to share with you. Dr. Pollard, good morning to you and welcome back again.
Hey, good
Oh,
morning. Good
wait, let's
morning,
get your
Donna.
mic on. I'm sorry. Here we go. Welcome back, Dr. Pollard. How's it going today?
I am fine. I'm fine. How are you doing today?
I am doing well, doing well. Thank you. We've got some winning information we're going to talk about. But first, do you have a word for us of encouragement?
Yes, always. I was sitting here thinking this morning about the book of Isaiah, Isaiah 58, where the prophet Isaiah talked about God's people being the restorers of the paths to dwell in. And this notion of restoration, HGTV has a whole genre
Mhm.
broadcast that deals with restoration, right? They get
Yeah,
old buildings and they restore them.
right,
And so someone said you can tell you're moving along in the aging cycle when you can enjoy watching HGTV restore old buildings, right? So,
right.
but it's fascinating to see how they can take a building that, and this doesn't apply to Peterson Hall, of course, but how they can take a building that no one may have wanted, but at the same, and then with a few weeks and a lot of love and a lot of labor, that building can become almost immaculate.
Yes.
And I think about the work that we do here at Oakwood University. We've been founded in 1896, 125 years old this year, and we will be celebrating that. But we've got some buildings that are historic buildings, and Peterson Hall is one of those. And I'm grateful that we've been able to work out the restoration of that building. It's going to be beautiful, restored as Peterson Residence and Conference Center. Now that's a phenomenal feat.
Oh, that's a new word. Okay.
Yeah. Hadn't heard that one, right? Hadn't heard that one. Now think about it, Donna. Now we've got buildings, I think across the last 7 to 10 years, we've spent nearly 70, 60, somewhere between 65 and $70 million on new construction and renovation. And so this trajectory of renovation and restoration is really, really important for our campus. It speaks to stewardship. It speaks to community interest. It speaks to customer care. It speaks to a number of different things. And I'm very grateful today that we get to talk about the grand opening of the newly renovated Peterson Hall. And I think this is going to be just a phenomenal place. Peterson Hall and Conference Center. And all those alums who are listening, think about, think about very shortly how this conference center can be a place, a choice, a place of preference for your choices, for your conferences, for your continuing development. We
Wow.
see a world of opportunities with this new event, and it's taking place on the 19th, and we're excited. We'll talk about that this morning, but it's always in the context of how these renovations and restorations, how they help to expand the mission of the university. So I'm grateful and I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too, Dr. Pollard, because as you know, I grew up on this campus. So Peterson Hall is one of those campuses that used to be a residence hall, and,
Yes.
and I remember, and I want to say Dent was advisor or residence hall dean there for one time. Seems like I remember that, but I remember running through those halls, and I have dreams. Let me tell you. Let me just be a little transparent. I
Okay.
have dreams about Peterson Hall because I used to get up there and go into that back little railing, that little,
Right.
and it's just, so I'm really excited because it's coming back, and because I always have great memories of that building. So what is, though, the history of Peterson Hall and its significance to Oakwood University?
Well, there's a lot of history behind it. Of course, it was named after F.L. Peterson, right? Former president of Oakwood University. And Frank Loris Peterson, he was the president from 1945 to 1954. So right after World War II, Elder Peterson, of course, is the mother, is the father of Dr. Calvin Rock's first wife, who has now passed away,
Mhm,
Sister Clara Peterson Rock.
mhm.
Um, but this building was named after him. It's been a residence hall. We used to say dormitory. It's been that for many years. It has gone on and off. It has been male, female. It has been male residences at one time, female residences at another. So across the generations, when you have alumni weekend, which we're excited about, that's coming. When you have alumni weekend, then you get different people talking about their experience in Peterson Hall. May I just share one experience in Peterson Hall? May I just share?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So one night I went to, when I was a student here at Oakwood, I went to I went to Peterson Hall. They used to let us go pick up residence hall and we can go to any of those worships. So I was living in Cunningham Hall, but I went to Peterson Hall because that was the night that we were doing worship. And when I got there, I was sitting there and just waiting for the worship to start. We were having evening worship there in the facility. And it was Black History Month. I'll never forget it. It was Black History Month. And a young lady came forward and they said, okay, so-and-so is going to recite God's trombones. That's what they said. I said, okay, they're going to read God's trombone. Well, the young lady came forward and she didn't have any any notes or anything. And she started going through God's trombones. Mm-hmm. And she starts with the first one, creation. And I'm thinking, okay, she's going to run out and pull up her paper pretty soon. Then of course she did creation. And then she did the one on the crucifixion. And there were no notes, just completely had memorized the whole piece and did a dramatic reenactment of the piece. Wow. Well, I said, I got to get to know that young lady because she's really bright, right? I got to get to know her. Who is that person? Well, I found out later that her name was Prudence LaBeach. Prudence LaBeach. And we began a relationship. We began dating. And 42 years later, we are still married. And I want to wish her a happy birthday because today is her birthday.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my
goodness. Well, we keep it quiet. I know we keep it quiet, right? But today is her birthday, and I wish her a happy birthday. But again, and mine is just one of 1,000 stories that people can tell about the great Peterson Hall. Mine is just one. There are thousands of stories that could be like yours. There are thousands of stories that could be told.
Like I was a baby. I would go there to be babysat, I guess. By the dean over there at Peterson Hall, so my dad could look over from the store and see and know that we're fine over there. But yeah, we do have. Everybody has a story about Peterson Hall. I believe even Barry Black had a story about
everybody.
meeting his wife on.
He did. He met Brenda there. That's what he said. He saw her first at Peterson Hall. Right.
So let's talk about Peterson Hall. As you said, it's been a residence hall, dorm. It's been other things as well. So Sabrina Cotton, can you talk to us about Peterson Hall and the development of it and where we're headed with it?
Well, we are so excited about Peterson Hall. As Dr. Pollard was talking about the history, it reminded me of the cost of Peterson Hall, which was less than $300,000. And now this new revision is a $5 million renovation that we are so excited about. Peterson Hall, when it was originally built, was built with community style bathrooms. But now we have 52 private rooms, each with its individual bathroom. It's well appointed, beautiful conference style rooms, hotel rooms. We also have a 3-bedroom suite. And then we have 3 1-bedroom suites. And so we're excited about that. They have kitchenettes. We have meeting rooms. We have an auditorium. When it is fully complete, we will have a business center. We have laundry and vending throughout the building. The final completion will include a Swedish style sauna, as well as an exercise room. So as Dr. Pollard mentioned, it's going to be a beautiful residential facility as well as a university conference center. And we're just so excited about the grand reopening, ribbon cutting that's coming on Monday. And of course, I'll let Cheri talk about the program a little bit. But just to give you an idea of Peterson Hall, as you said, it's one of our most historic buildings on campus. We each have a Peterson Hall story that we're fond of. I believe even before it was the high school dormitory, the Oakwood Adventist Academy residential facility. So even students who were in high school at the time have stories to tell about Peterson Hall.
That's right. Wow. Well, before we get to Ms. Cheri, let's talk to Dr. David Richardson, because we want to know how this building is actually going to be impacting student life as well.
Yes. Well, good morning, everyone. And it's an honor to be with you this morning. I'm excited. And as I was listening to Ms. Cotton talk about the cost, I was thinking about yet it pays, right? When you come to Oakwood, it pays every day. Amen, somebody. So when I think about the residential life living and the great renovations that are being done in Peterson Hall, I'm really excited because what we're talking about is student success. This is what we're talking about, because this is what it's all about. We're creating an environment where students can now gather together, and study in a room where it's it's state of the art. It's beautiful. There's innovation taking place within the residential facility. And yes, we're going to have the conference center, but I'm thinking about all the great opportunities that we're talking about that creates incredible student spaces. And that's what we do here at Oakwood University. We create opportunities for students to be successful. And this is just another way. Residential living is what we do to create that space. You know, we're thinking about how we help students matriculate in 4 years and less. This is one of the ways that we're doing it, by creating a space where students can have an opportunity to live and learn together, live in what we call living learning communities, where they live and learn together, where they have an opportunity to engage with other students, specifically the gender that they're related to, you understand? So if it's going to be a male's resident hall, then it's going to be a male. If it's going to be a woman's resident hall, but it gives an opportunity for them to engage in that way. And for me, I won't tell my stories of Peterson, but I was in Cunningham as a freshman, and Peterson was the freshman. So we used to always make our way over to Peterson as well. So I mean, we all have our story about Peterson Hall, but God has blessed us, and I truly want to say I'm thankful to God and the leadership of Oakwood University for Dr. Pollard to have the vision to be able to do this, to create a space that's creative, innovative, and a space that students can engage in. So I'm really excited about Peterson Hall. Ms. Cotton talked about how great it's going to be. I wish we could show you some pictures here today, but I mean, it's really top notch, folks. Wow. It's an incredible space for our students. And I'm telling you, they're going to be excited. There's going to be a list of students wanting to get in there that's going to be a mile long when this thing opens up. So we're really excited about that.
And I know somebody must have mentioned it, but I missed it. How many students are going to be able to stay in Peterson Hall?
Originally, we had 170 students. Our new capacity, Sabrina, originally it was designed for 170 students.
Okay.
Right. So originally it was designed for 170 students. There were about 80 rooms and 2 students per room. And then there were a couple of rooms that held 4 and 6 students.
Wow.
So the number could be much larger. As you know, we've converted it to conference style. So we did reduce the number of rooms from about 80 to about 52, so that each room would have a nice closet. Even some of the rooms have walk-in closets, and each room has a full bath. And so now they have a private bath. So it's 52 rooms. So it could house, it's 52 rooms and 3 suites. So you could house up to 120 students if you have the students in double rooms, and then you could have about 4 students in the suites.
Wow.
However, as a conference center, of course, there'll be single rooms. So it's very flexible. It's very fluid and flexible. We could house up to 120 students in Peterson Hall now with the single bathrooms, the private bathrooms, the laundry facilities, the exercise room, the sauna. Yeah. But must I go on?
Oh my goodness, it sounds like a resort to me. I mean, come on. Yes. Can I go over there now?
Keyless entry, full security. So it's surveillance, complete surveillance. Of course, it's fully sprinkled. So it's a very safe building. It's a very secure building. It's something our students can not only enjoy and our conference attendees, but it's something where they will be safe and secure, so where they can, as Dr. Richardson likes to say, live, learn, and play. So we're just excited about the facility.
Well, I tell you, I'm ready to run on over there right now, but I know we're going to wait until the grand opening on the 19th, which is this coming Monday. So Cheri Wilson, can you share with us what's going to be happening for this grand opening of this wonderful building that everybody is excited is reopening and going to be available to everybody?
Well, thank you, Donna. And you know, I love to come on these programs to tell about the exciting things happening at Oakwood. So, and especially our events, because it brings everybody together as an internal community, our external community, and many leaders in the community. And we are excited about this new facility opening up for many uses and going to bless many people. But the grand opening or the reopening, reopening is Monday, July 19th, this coming Monday at 10 a.m. again, it's supposed to rain, but we know how we get those blessings when it's supposed to rain, it just doesn't.
Right, exactly.
But we're excited to do it right there on the front porch, right in front of the pillars there. They're so beautiful. We maintain the pillars. Thank you, Sabrina. I love to keep the old with the new. So it just reminds us of our past and how we're moving towards the future. But it's an exciting program, not going to be long, but we are going to have our president speak, of course, and talk about the facility and share that with, what should I mention also, ASCTE president will be there. Dr. Potter, you may want to say something about that. And they'll have a student that gives a testimony. We have the OU ambassadors and student ambassadors from ASCTE. And of course, we have prayer and dedication and a ribbon cutting that kind of is our rites of passage, I guess.
Yeah.
Signify the building is open, it's renovated, and it's beautiful. We're so very excited. I'm sure the alums, when they come, are going to be very excited to see their dorm, because we all remember that freshman dorm. Although I didn't get to stay in it because we had so many young women that year, I had to stay in Cunningham. But we had our own fun over there. But anyway, so welcome everyone. We're excited to share the facility with you on Monday.
So is this open to the public?
It is.
Reopening is open to the public. Are there going to be any CDC guidelines required for this event?
Yes, on our campus, we're still, 3 feet apart instead of 6 feet apart. So yes, there'll be hand sanitization.
And masking, and of course, masking is required because that's very important to making sure that we keep the community safe. One of the things that I think our listeners should know is that we're very grateful. We established a partnership with the Alabama School for Cyber Technology and Engineering, and actually won a state contract to house this burgeoning institution, which is really going to make a tremendous contribution to the local economy of Huntsville and, of course, to the well-being of the state in years to come. Alabama School of Cyber Technology and Engineering is, in fact, a high school that is focused on those two things, cyber technology and engineering. And when it was decided by the state legislature to place the school in some city, because it's going to be a school that attracts students from around the state, Huntsville was chosen, but there was no place for the school. So we actually took them in, and it's been a wonderful partnership, having these young people on our campus from a variety of faith traditions and some from no faith tradition. It's been a wonderful opportunity for us to share what the Oakwood mission and message and the larger message of our church and our faith actually is. And it's been a blessing. Our gift and our gift of hospitality, of care, of service has made an indelible impression, not just upon the Alabama School of Cyber Technology and Engineering, but state officials now resonate with the name Oakwood in a positive way because we're being of service to the larger community and beyond our own borders. And I'm very grateful for that as well.
Right. So let's talk about how, because we know we have a lot of alums listening right now, and they want to be a part of not just the grand reopening, but how can they support this project? Are there any other needs for the Peterson Hall project?
Would you like me to answer that, Dr.
Cheri? Yes, Cheri. I'm sorry.
And again, I'm always happy to let you know where you can contribute to Oakwood University's mission. So yes, the Peterson Hall is being renovated, but there are always more things to, technology, furniture, programs. So yes, you may always donate your funds to Oakwood University in your designated area, and Peterson Hall is one of them. You have a memory about Peterson Hall, give to the Peterson Hall project.
Okay.
So Cheri, is that at
give.oakwood.edu?
Say that again, because we were talking over you.
give.oakwood.edu?
Okay. So when you go there, you can find a number of things that you can support as an alum or friend of Oakwood University and support all the things that we're doing here on our campus. That's right?
Yes, absolutely, Donna. And again, I use this as a moment just to thank our alums again. Our alums have been giving at record numbers and record amounts. And we're very grateful for that because that's what helps us drive the institution forward. If we can have unencumbered, unrestricted dollars, we can do a million things that can benefit not only the generation that's on campus, but the next generation. So I want to take a moment too, Cheri, to thank them for the generosity toward their alma mater. I mean, it is striking and it's measurable, and I'm very grateful for all of that. Thank you.
Wow. So let's before we go, let's talk again about the program that's going to be happening on Monday, the 19th, and tell us again what we're going to be expecting, Cheri Wilson.
Well, here's the program on the screen. And again, this is a reopening of Peterson Hall. We're inviting our ASCTE friends there as they are residents. And so you see the program there. We will have an opening prayer, and Dr. Pollard will give us the occasion and the whole vision of Peterson Hall, as well as the president of ASCTE, and talk about that partnership. Miss Battles will give Miriam Battles will give us a little bit of the history, and we'll have a student give a testimony. And then, of course, the ASCTE will also thank their donors and acknowledgement, as well as the presidents, Dr. Pollard and Mr. Massey will thank. And then we'll talk a little bit about the design. We'll have a dedication prayer, we'll do the ribbon cutting, and then we will have a student-led tour of the facility.
Nice.
Wonderful. It sounds good. It looks good. It's going to be a great time, high time and glory, celebrating and thanking God for this wonderful new reopening of Peterson Hall. Dr. Pollard, how are you feeling about this? And
this is it again. It's wonderful. So you asked me how I'm feeling. I'm feeling wonderful. I'm feeling very positive about these kinds of accomplishments. It's a collaborative effort. I want to thank Miss Sabrina Cotton, our VP for Finance, who quarterbacked this whole initiative, making sure that we not only secured the grant, the state grant, but also making sure that we actually stayed in touch and that we actually coordinated the planning and the execution. And she had a team of people around her. The other officers step in and they help and offer advice and counsel. But as we do our building projects and our renovation projects, we've got teams that are attacking these things. And we've got two big bills that are coming up that build, B-U-I-L-D-S, not B-I-L-L-S. We got two big bills that are coming up. That is the Peters Hall, not Peterson Hall, but Peters Hall, which is our music facility, and renovations are being started right there very shortly. And then the big one is the Health and Wellness Center. And man, we're excited about that. That's going to make a tremendous contribution. So for all of these things, all of these are spaces that are dedicated to the glory of God and to the mission of God's work and to the mission of Oakwood University. And we're grateful to be able to assemble them, to execute them, and to deliver them. So anybody who wants to come by, you're welcome to come. Monday, 10 a.m. on July 19, we are going to be reopening the historic Peterson Hall. Boy, this is exciting. And we look forward to anyone coming who wants to be there.
Wow, I remember, 10 a.m. on
10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
No early folks, right? No early folks. Well, Dr. Pollard, thank you so much. Is there anything else we need to talk about before we let you go? We can repeat again, though, how people, our friends and alums, can support Oakwood University.
Yes, right at the website, go to Oakwood, give.oakwood.edu, and your contributions will go exactly for what you designate them. Maybe I should say a little bit about that, Donna. It's very important. It's a very important stewardship for us that donor confidence is honored and donor wishes are honored. And so wherever you wish your donations to go, we make sure that 100% of that donation gets there. And that is very, very important to our operation. So for those who are listening and thinking about how they can be donors, don't hesitate to contact any one of us. You can contact me personally. You can contact Ms. Wilson, Ms. Cotton, anybody on campus, and they will direct you. This is going to be something breathtaking, and we look forward to being there. I don't want to be too hyped. I don't want to be, Dr. Richardson, I don't want to be too hyperbolic. But again, when you stop to think that a building that was built in 1955, even in the midst of a raging pandemic, has been completely renovated and modernized. Glory to God, all glory to God, and we're very grateful.
Glory to God. Thank you, Dr. Pollard. Thank you all for being with us for Inside Oakwood today on this triumphant Thursday. Next Thursday, we're going to talk about student life. So join us again live right here on WJLU for Inside Oakwood with Dr. Leslie Pollard.